Hello, and welcome back, or welcome to my channel. My name is Farrell, and we talk about all things feminine energy, dark feminine energy, luxury level manifestation, and getting everything that you want by leveling up in life. So welcome back, and I'm so excited to bring you this video. This is a topic that I know so many women in my community and the feminine energy community are always wondering about, and that is, what are the top 3 things, or what are some things that men really desire? And we're talking about like masculine, high value, leveled up men in their actual divine masculine provider energy. What do they desire from feminine women? So today I wanted to bring you this video because I started to think about it, and I asked my husband on this too. So you're getting a man's perspective on this as well as mine from my experience. But the number one most important thing that I believe, as I've seen the effect on him and other men as well in different types of relationships, with other people, is that the experience that men want and desire so deeply from being with a feminine woman is that, does she see me into the next level of myself? So there is advice in the leveling up, dating for marriage, like dating provider men sort of videos, which I completely agree with, by the way. But I think once you're actually in the relationship and married to, or fiance to, or whatever, to this man, the advice kind of changes here. That advice is that don't look for potential, or like don't date for potential in men. Totally agree with this. If you are dating, or it's like a boyfriend, if you're doing that sort of thing right now, that we obviously want to level up from. But if you are in that stage at the moment and you are with a man who is like, oh yeah, I'm going to start that business, like don't worry, one day I'll give you everything that you want, one day I'll be able to do this. But in reality, he can't hold a job, like he relies on you financially to support him while he's like figuring out his dream, all that romantic stuff, right? That's the kind of potential that you obviously don't want to be dating for or marrying. God forbid you marry that person. No, girl. That is what we want to avoid. As for when, in this context of seeing the actual potential in masculine men who have already built themselves up, at least to some degree, they have proven to you, not with words, but proven with actions, that they do what they say they're going to do, that they provide for you, that they are protectors, that they're masculine, all of that good stuff. They actually need you to see them into a higher level of themselves and into the next version of themselves. That is part of the feminine magic that you get to provide, I guess you could say, in the relationship. That's part of this feminine experience that men really, really desire. And so I made a video recently, don't mother men, don't nag men, and don't, stop doing that. And basically you will move from attracting dusty 50-50 men who don't want to provide for you, type that I just described, who keep, talking about their potential but never actually doing anything about it. And you will move into attracting provider men who are in their masculine energy. So this is like a step above that. This is the complete polar opposite and the empowering side of just the opposite of having that mothering energy. So instead of nagging him, instead of, doing all those things, we know not to do that. But then it's like, okay, so what do we do? Do we just completely have an absence of that? Or is there something else that we can replace it with? Is there something else that we can add to the mix to make it even better? And yes, there is. And this is the key, number one thing. Like I said, this is it. This is like the magic, the cherry on top. This is like the best of the feminine energy. And so basically what he's looking for and testing you for, this is what he's going to be testing you for, is, does she see me into the next level of myself? So he tests this because as a high value man, as a man with, a high paying job or a high status career or his own business, or, just a man who is providing for you in general. Maybe he isn't like that, super, super high level, whatever sort of man, but like he's a provider, he's a good man. This is really detrimental to his life and the trajectory of his success. And like, if you can't do this. So this is so important because it can actually level his life down along with yours if you don't have this key part of your feminine energy really honed in on and mastered, because it takes a lot of emotional mastery. So, and this is also really a big thing that when dating for marriage and men trying to see, is this woman someone that not only is a feminine woman, but has this key thing down, or at least, she's working on it, right? He can see that this is something that she is doing. And this is all subconscious. He probably has no clue that he's looking for this, or he might, maybe he's super conscious and he's aware of it. But does she see me into my next level? And the woman that sees that and appreciates all of what he has built up and is able to receive that, which we'll talk about in a minute, she is the woman who is that feminine energy wife material and will make an amazing partner and complement to the masculine. So if you continue to mother him, like we talked about in this other video, I'm not going to get super into it in this one, but if you continue to mother him and act like he's not capable and act like, he, without your help, like he can't earn any more money, like he really isn't able to accomplish anything because he's such a stupid boy, basically is what you're saying, like you don't respect him, then this is going to downgrade his life. This is going to make him feel completely unable to please you, completely unable to, like, unmotivated to do anything more. He's not going to strive more in his job. Like, he's not going to want to scale his business even bigger. He's not going to want to take on more clients so that he can provide more for you, or, spoil you and your family more, take more vacations, whatever that is. These are all feminine desires. And men want to give them to you. They really do. But when you show up as the mother and you're nagging and you're in your wounded feminine and you're not in this like extremely divine feminine place of being able to completely seeing him as capable of earning that 100K month in his business, or completely seeing him as capable of, getting these higher level clients, whatever job he does or whatever field he's in. This is a game changer. I mean, that is the complete opposite of the other woman. And so this is what men are looking for to marry and to actually surround themselves with whenever they desire that feminine energy as a life partner. So on that note, I'm actually doing a whole masterclass on how to level up your man. This is not for the women who are, boyfriend and girlfriend with someone and this, like the pick-me's and they're dating someone who's going 50-50 with them. No, we're not getting these men out of that consciousness and into a provider. That's not really what we're going for here. This is more like you see your man as, or that your man's already a provider, that your man's already masculine, you're engaged to him, married to him preferably, and you want to hone in on this divine feminine tool in order to take not only his life to the next level, but yours as well. This is like the energetic work behind the scenes that will level you up as a woman, create this sort of emotional control, and really allow you to manifest through him and change your reality. So that masterclass is actually going up tomorrow in price. It's doubling in price. So definitely get in now. And we're going to go and do it live on Thursday. So I can't wait to see you there. But it's not the same as, like, I just want to reiterate, it is not the same as believing a Dusty and struggling next to him and just being like, yes, like, even though you've taken no action on your dreams and no action in your life, I totally believe in you that you are totally going to start this business. No, girl, run. Don't waste your time. Don't waste your energy. Your feminine energy is way too valuable for you to be implementing this tool. And honestly, if you are attracting, like, this is just the harsh truth, but if you're attracting those sort of men into your life, I highly recommend you do not join this masterclass, because you probably are not at the level in your feminine energy to be able to really hone in on this and properly execute it, if that makes sense. So I would highly recommend starting in the feminine foundation if you do want to start there. So second after that rant, but that is the number one thing that I would have to say men are looking for in a feminine woman. Number two is probably equally up there, but I think the other one's more important personally. They want the feminine experience. So what does this mean? The feminine experience is the highest form of luxury to a masculine man. They can buy whatever luxury experience they want, right? Like they want a luxurious meal, they want to go spend $500 on dinner. Great, they can go spend money on that and get that. They want to shop in a luxury shop, they can go do that. But for a man, that is not on the same level as actually having a feminine woman in her divine feminine energy next to him, creating this experience, and not just creating it for him. This is something that we create internally for ourselves, and then it emanates from us, and he's able to experience by being in the proximity of us radiating this. So none of this is like for men. I know a lot of people get annoyed at that. And they're like, I don't want to do this for men. No, bitch, do it for yourself, because when you're in the state of being able to be in that divine feminine tool of leveling up a man, or, being able to see him into his potential and manifest through him, you are on the next level. You can't do this from wounded feminine energy. And you also can't create and just exude and radiate this feminine experience if you are not leveled up, if you are not in your feminine energy. I know I see a lot of Pinterest posts and stuff like that, and I'm always going through Pinterest to make my vision boards, especially right before 2024. And I see a lot of these quotes and people commenting under it. They're like, yes, that's me, which I hope it is. But I remember one quote specifically is, my presence is a luxury. Now, is it? Be real with yourself, right? Because I think everyone has the potential to have their presence be a luxury to someone else, of course. But you have to be real with yourself that maybe at the moment you're actually not leveled up to that degree. You actually have a lot of inner work to do. I know that I have had to go through years of this to truly feel like my presence and the feminine experience that I provide and I'm capable of providing, not that I'm even doing it 24/7, even though I can try my best. It's a work in progress still. I'm still doing my inner work. So be real with yourself. Is the presence that you're providing truly a luxury? Now, I can, I've always, like I've said, I've always had a very feminine appearance. I've always, my appearance has leveled up since I've been doing my inner work and since I have been doing all of this. So you can probably even look back on my other videos and see I have physically glowed up. But it's not just a physical thing. You can look amazingly beautiful and have your hair done and have the right outfit on. And I think that does have a lot. It definitely has a lot to do with attracting men, especially, dressing like a goddess and a queen and truly adorning yourself and really putting that next level effort into yourself and working out and all of that. That will get you there for sure. It is the start. But when you neglect the inner work and you still say my presence is a luxury just because I'm pretty, unfortunately, it didn't work that way for me. And I see it for the same for, all of my clients are gorgeous. And yet sometimes they're still having trouble attracting these men and creating that feminine experience because they have not done the level of inner work necessary to get there. They're just not in that state of being yet. Their identity does not encapsulate my presence as a luxury. So how can we get there? If you haven't leveled up, your presence that you feel like maybe delusionally at the time is a luxury, it could genuinely actually feel like someone is just running, when they're sitting next to you, right? For a masculine energy man, this sounds harsh, but it could feel like they're just having to run into Walmart real quick, grab something, and not want to interact with anyone and get out as fast as possible. Maybe they thought your appearance was great, but then they actually sit down with you and the energy is not right. Instead of The experience, whenever, I know for me personally, I love going into Cartier because, you know, they can take you into a private room, bring you the jewelry that you want to try on, give you some champagne, or in Van Cleef, you know, some chocolates. And I love that experience. And I want to sit there for like hours because I'm taking it in. Everyone is polite around me. You know, the jewelry is beautiful. I don't want to leave. But whenever I go to the normal grocery store or whatever it is, I'm like, oh, in and out as fast as possible. I don't really want to interact with anyone around here. Like, just, I'm sort of an introvert. So I'm like, please get me out, right? So if that is how you are tending to make masculine men feel, and, you know, if they're not obsessed with you and wanting to continue to, if they don't want to provide for you and they don't want to take you on dates and they have the means to, then this is a big red flag as to why. So if you don't have tool number 1 that we talked about and seeing the potential into men, then this is especially what the experience will feel like that you are providing as the woman. It will feel like that Walmart experience versus the Cartier. The Cartier experience is being able to see him and manifest him into his next level. That's the magic of it. But the other one and the other side of things, which is like the mothering and the nagging, that's the Walmart experience. We do not want to replicate that. A woman in her feminine energy is truly like pleasure embodied. It is an experience of exuded pleasure for both him and herself. I mean, what would you rather be in? Would you rather be in, and I have to relax myself as I say this, would you rather be in a nervous system where you feel like you're in survival mode and, you know, your heart rate is elevated and you're in fight or flight and you can't even enjoy yourself and you're having to like protect yourself by nagging and mothering and, you know, not being able to receive anything? That to me is extremely unenjoyable. So I would much rather be in that more divine feminine, relaxed, pleasurable experience, transformative, literally the energy of just pleasure. And so this perfectly complements the masculine safety and provision that he brings. When you're able to receive everything that he brings and feel safe in his presence, this is especially, you know, for those ladies who are engaged and who are married. Like, that's your man. This isn't like just going on dates and feeling someone out and then feeling like maybe you don't feel safe, right? Because that's a very real experience and that's different. But this is like, no, this is your man. You can let your guard down. You can receive. You can allow yourself to be in the energy of pleasure with him, to create that polarity. That's like extremely important. If you aren't doing this and you aren't creating the feminine experience and, you know, you aren't doing the tool number 1 that I talked about, then it's not really going to feel like either of y'all's lives is leveling up in the most like romantic and fun way for a feminine woman and for that polarity to stay in the relationship. So number 3 is that, as I talked about earlier, the receptiveness, right? So they want to experience you receiving, your receptiveness. That's what masculine men want to experience whenever they are around a woman and in her feminine energy. That's one of the huge perks of feminine energy, is that you are able to actually receive. I see this as such a deep wound, such a deep wound within even myself. To this day, I still have to check myself. But with so many women that I've worked with, or like people watching in public and, you know, hearing stories or reading comments, so many women, if not almost every woman I've ever talked to, has an extreme issue with receiving. And what's unfortunate is that, you know, even as I work with some women who are wanting to attract their provider man, or I'm working with some women in their businesses, not only does this translate to their relationships and making the man feel emasculated and like he's being robbed of that feminine experience in the relationship whenever he's trying to give her anything, right? Even his energy, even his appreciation, his gratitude, maybe even a compliment or gifts and his provision, and she's turning him down. That is a huge polarity killer, like number one. And I think every woman has an issue with this to some degree. The other side of things is in a woman's business, she says that she wants these high ticket clients. She says that she wants to, attract more money in her business. But if she can't receive, and a great way to see this is with men, right? Especially if you're in a relationship, she's not going to be able to receive bigger amounts of money. She's not going to be able to receive more clients because it doesn't feel safe for her. And that's just like, you cannot level up in any direction if you cannot expand your ability to receive in all of these areas. This is like so incredibly important. I listed these 3 things, but there's not an order by any means. All of these are very equally important. And being able to get your nervous system in a place where it's not in fight or flight mode anymore, where your adrenaline is not constantly, activated, where your cortisol is not it's like working overtime, right? You are finally able to be at peace, heal. You can't heal in a state of fight or flight, and truly be able to receive without feeling like you just owe someone something and everything is transactional, and like maybe in your business or even in a relationship, if somebody pays you an amount of money or gives you a gift, that you are now like owned by them and you owe them everything. That's not how it works at all. So receptiveness is so important. And specifically in relationships, do you reject their providing? Do you reject their compliments? Do you reject their gifts? Do you reject the masculine energy as a whole? Maybe you don't even feel safe around it, but the safety comes internally first. The safety, other than scenarios where you're like actually physically in danger, the safety is not going to come from someone else making you feel safe. You might think it will, and I thought that for a really, really long time. Never served me. It definitely held me back in my healing journey from any past trauma or anything like that. But it all comes from your own inner work and you being able to actually go in, do the shadow work, face that dark feminine transformation and awakening that maybe you need in those situations. I know that's what got me through past trauma or healing. Whatever you need to do to rest and allow yourself to feel safe in your own body, that's how you're going to create that safety no matter where you go. If you have an aligned and grounded nervous system and the mindset and the energy and the state of being and identity to go with that, that is the combination that will assist you so well especially in dating. And that is actually what will radiate in all 3 of these tips that I gave you, being able to receive. You will definitely be able to receive, maybe not fully, but so much better in that state. And you will absolutely be able to create this amazing feminine experience for yourself to experience and also for the men that you are dating, and have them absolutely like other women aren't doing this, right? So you will stand out so much and you will be so rare, and you're like this diamond that of course he's going to provide for you. Of course he's going to, if he's the right man who's in his masculine, want to marry you rather than make you his girlfriend whenever you set those boundaries. And of course you will have so much of an easier time in the tool, I need to come up with a name for it, but in being able to manifest through him and see him into his next level and create that trajectory for you, for him, for y'all's relationship, for y'all's future. I mean, this is key, right? These are probably 3 tips that, I don't know, maybe you've heard them before. I've personally never heard them before. So hopefully this was very helpful, but I did want to say once again that in less than 24 hours than when you're seeing this video, or actually in 48 hours, we'll be doing the masterclass, but in 24 hours, the price is going to go up double. So it's going to be $222 then. Definitely get in now. This is really, really important. Even if you aren't in that relationship yet, but you are leveling up in your feminine energy, you're wanting to attract a different caliber of man, and just prepare yourself for when you are engaged, are married, and want to manifest through him and get this tool under your belt. Definitely get in now, because this is what high value, wealthy men, high earning men who are really determined and in their masculine energy and the conquerors, like this is what they want. They don't want a woman who is bringing them down, making them feel incapable, mothering them, not giving them the feminine experience. They're just not going to put up with that. That's not, like, they get to experience the best in the world because they get to buy anything they want. So why would they settle for less than that? I know we don't want to as women. So why should we expect men to do that either? It doesn't make any sense. So I want to experience the best for myself. I want to create the experience of the best for myself. And I know that starts with me and the toolbox that I have and my feminine energy and how much that is embodied. So this is honestly taking me about 2 years, probably 5 years in the making, to truly understand all of this and really put it together. And I'm going to be the best that I can, jam-packing this masterclass with all, 5, definitely 2 really, really focused years on learning how to do this and learning how to interact with the masculine in this way. And so I think this is probably one of the best masterclasses I've ever put together. I'm very excited about it. We already have so many women in there. And we'll be doing that live on this Thursday, December 21st, I believe. So I really, truly hope to see you in there. And if you're seeing this after that date, the recording will be available. So definitely hop in and add this to your toolbox. But I will see you in the next video. And I love you so much.